Claressa Shields recently revealed a shocking secret that no one saw coming. Papoose is the father of her child. The internet went into a frenzy over this revelation, and Remy Ma's response was nothing short of dramatic. Let me tell you, she didn't take it well, and this situation has quickly become one of the messiest and most explosive in hip-hop. Here's how it all went down. The drama began during a rap battle when a rapper seized the mic and decided to stir the pot by exposing some personal drama. He accused Remy of cheating on Papoose with another rapper. Easy. What made this situation even more intense was that the rapper didn't just imply it. He called Remy out publicly, accusing her of betraying the man who had stood by her for years. He didn't hold back, blasting her for showing disrespect to her marriage. The crowd erupted and the atmosphere was electric, with no one expecting such a turn of events. The twist? Remy didn't deny the accusations. In fact, the rapper's words seemed to confirm the rumors, making everything even more intense. When Papoose learned about the betrayal, he didn't waste any time dwelling on it. Rumor has it that he ended things with Remy immediately. But the real shock came next. Papoose didn't linger in the drama. He moved on quickly, and the person he moved on with was none other than world champion boxer Claressa Shields. This is where the story takes a unique turn. It wasn't just the cheating allegations that made this situation intriguing. It was the fact that Papoose and Claressa were getting serious. This didn't sit well with Remy at all. She tried to act nonchalant, claiming she didn't care, but those close to her revealed she wasn't handling the situation well at all. Remy began throwing shade and making reckless comments about both Papoose and Claressa. She even hinted that she might fight for what she believed was hers. The drama reached a boiling point when Remy took to Instagram, blasting both Papoose and Claressa. She even leaked text messages that Claressa had sent to Papoose, which showed Claressa trying to get Papoose to be more honest with her. In one text, Claressa wrote, "You take accountability. You were the one who was married. If you can't, at least sleep on the phone with me or be with me in person. It shouldn't be a big deal to let me know you made it home safe or that you fell asleep." It seemed like Claressa was trying to get Papoose to open up, but Remy wasn't having any of it. Remy then went off, mocking Claressa and saying, "Papoose's dumb self fell asleep on the phone with Claressa Shields while laying in my house. He refuses to leave." She went on to mock Claressa's skills, saying, "This girl is supposed to be a world champion boxer, but as soon as she heard my voice, she got scared and hung up." Remy didn't stop there. She accused Claressa and her team of spreading fake stories to make Remy look bad while painting Papoose as some sort of angel. Remy even revealed that she had begged Papoose to clear things up, but he told her to stay quiet. She ended her rant by saying, "He said he would never be with you because you are ugly. But don't worry, I saw." The drama continues to unfold, and it's clear that the tensions between these three are far from over. Everything is out now, and the whole world is about to see it. Remy didn't just call out Claressa, she dragged Papoose into it too, accusing him of being a liar and trying to make her look bad. She claimed that Papoose had been involved from the start and was trying to control the narrative. Remy went further, saying that Claressa Shields and her weak publicity team had been spreading fake stories about her every day just to ruin her image and make Papoose look like some kind of angel. But she wasn't done yet. She clapped back again, saying, "Oh, and by the way, you said you felt stupid, but you actually look stupid too." Things only got messier when, a few days later, Claressa found out that Remy had exposed her online, and she wasn't having it. She immediately reached out to Papoose, telling him that he needed to do something about it right away before her PR team freaked out. At this point, Claressa was worried about her reputation, especially with her big movie set to release on December 25th. The last thing she wanted was to get caught up in a messy love triangle with a married man while Remy was out there revealing everything. But it wasn't just about the movie. Claressa was furious. Her messages to Papoose showed how stressed she was about the PR disaster this could turn into, especially since Remy wasn't holding back at all. Then, Remy took things even further, accusing Papoose of having a gambling problem and trying to pressure her for money during their divorce. She even claimed that he had sent her fake text messages from 10 years ago, just to justify his cheating. But she wasn't falling for it, and made it clear that his attempts to play the victim were pathetic. Meanwhile, Papoose had been mostly silent. But when he finally spoke up, it became clear that he had been holding back his frustration for a long time. He called Remy a narcissist and accused her of repeatedly cheating on him. He also claimed that he had tried to file for divorce many times, but Remy refused to let go. The reason he was finally speaking up now was that he couldn't let her twist the truth anymore. Then came the real bombshell. Papoose accused Remy of cheating on him with someone he knew. He claimed that while he was home with their daughter, on Christmas, Remy was spending time with another man. As the drama unfolded, things only got more intense, with each new twist making it harder to keep up. With Papoose and Claressa getting closer, Remy found it nearly impossible to let go of the past. At this point, it wasn't just about what had happened. It was about pride, pain, and the need to come out on top. Remy wasn't backing down, and she wasn't playing fair either. After publicly calling out both Claressa and Papoose, she took the battle to a more personal level. Her social media followers were fully supportive, and Remy used every tool at her disposal to shift the narrative in her favor. One of her most viral posts featured a video where she vented her anger, claiming Papoose had betrayed her after all they'd been through. She accused him of using her, taking advantage of her success, and never showing her any appreciation. Remy's frustration was evident, and her fans rallied behind her, flooding her with messages of support. But this wasn't just about setting the record straight. It was about making sure people saw her as the victim. She went on to say that Papoose had always been manipulative throughout their relationship, making comments like, "Papoose was so controlling, and I always had to tolerate it." He played the victim constantly, but now the world can see just how disgusting he really is. Her words struck a chord, and people were paying attention. Her fans believed her, and they weren't shy about sharing their opinions, often dragging both Papoose and Claressa into the conversation. On the other hand, Claressa was feeling the pressure. She was no stranger to handling stress. Being a world champion boxer had prepared her for that. But this was different. This wasn't about physical endurance. It was about her reputation, and her name was being dragged through the mud. The worst part was that she never asked for any of this drama. She just wanted to be close to Papoose. Now, though, she was fighting for her own dignity. Claressa decided to step away from social media, hoping the situation would blow over. She knew the spotlight would only grow hotter, but she also understood that the longer she stayed silent, the more people would speculate. She began reaching out to Papoose, trying to make sense of the chaos. In one of her texts, she admitted that the situation was overwhelming and asked him to help clear things up. However, instead of offering reassurance, Papoose became more distant, adding to Claressa's frustration. He didn't want to get involved in the social media frenzy, but he wasn't taking charge either. It seemed like he was letting the storm rage on without stepping in to stop it. Claressa couldn't shake the feeling that she had been dragged into something far bigger than she anticipated. Her PR team was urging her to speak out and distance herself from the mess with Papoose and Remy, but Claressa wasn't ready to walk away from the relationship just yet. She kept telling herself that things might calm down, that they might find a way to handle it all together. But deep down, she knew the damage had already been done. Meanwhile, Papoose found himself stuck in the middle. It was clear that he still had strong feelings for Remy, despite everything that had transpired. But Claressa wasn't going anywhere either. He was torn between two women, one with whom he had built a life, and the other with whom he had grown, close in an entirely different way. And all of this was playing out in front of the public eye. He was being pulled in every direction, unsure of how to navigate the storm. Papoose found himself trapped in the mess he had created, and there seemed to be no way out. In the midst of all the chaos, his silence spoke louder than anything he could have said. Claressa started to question where he truly stood. She couldn't tell if he was trying to salvage his marriage and work things out with Remy, or if he was planning to move forward with her. This uncertainty only deepened her frustration. Meanwhile, Remy wasn't letting him off the hook so easily. She made sure everyone knew exactly how she felt, calling him out every chance she got. She accused him of being a coward and running away from his responsibilities. Then, in an unexpected turn, Papoose decided he had had enough. He couldn't keep watching the woman he loved get dragged through the mud, especially by Remy. He knew he needed to speak up, so he broke his silence, not with a grand gesture or a flashy social media post, but quietly by reaching out to both Remy and Claressa to try to clear the air. He He was clearly attempting to take responsibility for what had happened. However, no matter how much he apologized, Remy wasn't ready to forgive him. She wasn't going to make it that easy. But this time, Papoose wasn't backing down. Instead of letting Remy control the narrative, he decided to take charge. He didn't want to be painted as the villain. Yes, he had made mistakes, but that didn't mean he was a bad person. He wanted everyone to understand that he was human too, and that he wasn't perfect. While the public saw him trying to take accountability, Remy still refused to hear it, determined to make him pay for his actions. As the tension between them escalated, Claressa began questioning if it was even worth it to stay involved with Papoose. The more she saw how complicated and painful the situation was becoming, the more she wondered if their relationship was built on shaky ground. But despite her doubts, she wasn't ready to walk away. She had invested too much emotionally and still held on to hope that things might eventually improve. As the months went by, the drama between Papoose, Remy, and Claressa only grew. Every day brought new headlines, fresh angles on the story, and more fuel for the fire. What had once seemed like a simple misunderstanding had turned into something much more significant, something that would shape their lives in ways they never expected. Despite all the chaos, one thing became clear. There was no going back. The world was watching, and the pressure was starting to take its toll. Despite his attempts to clear the air, Papoose found himself caught in the public eye, where every move he made was scrutinized, his words twisted, and his intentions constantly questioned. Papoose found himself navigating a minefield where even the smallest misstep seemed to ignite controversy. Each time he tried reaching out to Claressa or apologized to Remy, it felt like things only got worse. No matter what he did, he couldn't seem to catch a break. Claressa, frustrated by his indecision, started pulling away. She had been patient and understanding, but the constant chaos was wearing her down. It was starting to feel like Papoose was just waiting for the situation to settle on its own, without addressing the deeper issues between them. She began questioning whether he was truly committed to her, or if he was still holding on to something with Remy. The uncertainty weighed heavily on her, and Papoose's actions seemed more unclear with each passing day. The unresolved tension between them only made her doubt the future of their relationship. She wasn't used to feeling like this, caught in the middle of someone else's drama. She needed answers, but instead, she was left more confused than ever. Meanwhile, Remy, who had once seemed like the underdog in this situation, was slowly regaining control. Her followers on social media were rallying behind her, and she was using the platform to her advantage. Every post and every story was a strategic move to reinforce her narrative and paint Papoose as the villain. She wasn't about to let him off the hook easily. Remy kept calling him out, making sure the world knew exactly how she felt about their broken relationship. In the midst of all this, Papoose finally made a choice, deciding to move forward with Claressa. When he told her, there was a mix of relief and uncertainty in her eyes. She had been waiting for him to make up his mind, but even as he chose her, the weight of that decision hung in the air. She wanted to trust him and believe in their future together, but the wounds from the past were still fresh. While she was eager to move forward, the road ahead felt uncertain. She couldn't shake the fear that one day he might go back to Remy and that their past would always cast a shadow over their relationship.